Hello, my name is Liam, and welcome back to the next episode of Ukraine Simplified. If you have been listening to the recent news whatsoever, you have probably heard of the ongoing Russian conflict in Ukraine. Today, we welcome Declan, a Woodstock Union Middle School student and expert on this current invasion. He will be talking about a constant uncertainty in the war. What has been Putin's military strategy in the conflict?
Well, Putin's original planning was to prevent Ukraine from joining NATO, but then he shifted his planning toward getting the Soviet Union back. And so, Putin demanded that NATO send none of its troops into Russia and that the former Soviet Union countries cannot join NATO. In the beginning of the conflict, Putin expected Ukraine to fall without putting up much of a fight, but Ukraine has held firm, even now, nearly 2 months after the invasion began.
So, what strategies has Ukraine used to possibly keep up with Russia's enormous military? I know that over 1/9 of their economy is spent solely on military funds.
Ukraine has used some effective defensive strategies like keeping their civilians in bomb shelters to protect them from the artillery. And Ukraine has also put barricades down in the streets to prevent tanks from causing more harm.
What has been Russia's strategic response to Ukraine holding down the fort? Has their strategy changed at all, or are they trying to brute force it?
Well, his plans of invading Ukraine have changed and shifted over time. His original plan was that he would annex the Crimean Peninsula near Ukraine, and then he could attack from the northeast and south.
So, was he at all successful in taking over this area of Crimea?
Yes and no. He certainly did annex Crimea in February of 2014, but of course he was unable to use this as he intended.
I've heard that another crucial area of the conflict was Donbass. Could you say what you know about that?
Donbass has actually been one of Russia's main goals since the start of the conflict, as it was heavily influenced by Russia. In fact, the main language spoken in Donbass is Russian.
Has Donbass been conquered by Russia, or does it remain strong?
Well, currently Donbass is being attacked by Russia, but it's fighting back and showing no signs of accepting loss.
What about the capital, Kyiv? I've heard about much conflict happening there.
Well, there actually has been a big change recently in Russia's plan. They've pulled back their soldiers but have left behind horrific stories.
What kind of stories have they left?
Many eyewitnesses have reported scenes of execution and repeated abuse to men and women.
Does the soldiers pulling back mean a possibility of Russian surrender?
No, Russia pulling back is another strategy of invasion.
On that uncertain note, it looks like it's time to end. I've been Liam, and that is it for this edition of Ukraine Simplified.